Welcome to the Levrige Show. This is Brett Ingram. Today, I want to share with you the single biggest mistake that I see people make with their websites. You know, I've launched and started a bunch of different websites over the past 10 years, probably 50 plus. And, you know, they, for the most part, all have one very specific thing in common. I know exactly what I want them to do, and I know exactly what function I want them to perform. Now, I see a lot of websites. Obviously, there are millions and millions online now. And back maybe 10 years ago, you could get away with sort of putting a website online and then people would kind of figure out what to do if they got there. Well, now we've evolved into a brand new age in the whole digital marketing era. And it's no longer enough just to have a website with some links on it and expect customers and prospects to go on there and sort of figure out what to do. And the biggest mistake that I see is people sort of use their website as just one giant garbage can for all the stuff for their business. So they just load it up with content, or sometimes they don't even put enough content on there. But the point is, there really isn't any structure to it. It's really just a bunch of tabs, there's a bunch of information, and there really isn't any value to the customer. It's more for you than it is for your customer. It makes you feel good knowing that you have stuff online. You can kind of talk about yourself. You can see your products or your office or, you know, pictures of the employees and things like that. And that's very gratifying as a business owner, but it doesn't mean squat to your prospects. So the first thing that you want to do with your website is you want to ask yourself exactly what the point is of having the website online is. Now, it might sound silly. Well, of course, to get more business. But no, specifically, what is the purpose of it? Your website is just one more tool in your marketing arsenal. That's what it is. You know, it's nothing more, it's nothing less. And so if you use it as part of your marketing plan and you integrate it and you have a specific purpose for it to do, a specific task and job for that website to do, then you'll be successful with it. If you just throw a bunch of content up there, it isn't really going to do much for you. So here are some examples of what I mean. If you sell, you know, literally like digital products, or you sell things online, then maybe the purpose of your site, like Amazon, is to make sales. You literally want to get people on that website and you want to get them clicking on the products, adding them to the cart, and buying them. That's completely legitimate and one definite reason you would want to use your website. If, on the other hand, you're selling one product, like a lot of my websites are geared around one product. Well, my front page on all of my websites is the same thing. It's a long form sales letter. That's it. I don't have about us links and, you know, who we are and all this other stuff. That's all in the bottom and you can click through if you want to find it. But my goal with my website is to get people on there and to take them through this buying process one step at a time. I want to identify what the problem is that my product is going to solve. I want to get in detail with that to get them feeling emotionally about it. And then I want to show them the solution and some proof and all the other stuff. And then I make an offer. And my purpose is one thing only. When they get to the bottom of that sales letter, they click the buy button on that one product. I'm not selling a warehouse full of stuff. I'm selling one thing. Now, maybe your business is something where you need to do consultations before you can make sales. You know, if you're a contractor, you're not going to be making sales online. You need appointments. You need to go to the customer's house or business or whatever and give them an estimate. So what you might want to do is focus everything around getting people to call you or getting people to fill out a form to come and get a consultation. And if you're selling a high ticket product that maybe takes a number of touches, or you have a sales force to do it, then maybe your goal is to get people to sign up for a webinar. Maybe you have a webinar that you offer that converts at a high rate for people once they get into the webinar. But you need a sole singular focus for the website. If you want to put all that other stuff in there too, that's okay. But your main page needs to focus on that one thing. I see a lot of people falling into the trap of feeling that they need a corporate website where it needs to have the links across the top with the menu, and it's got to have like CEO bios. That format can totally work if what you're going for on your website is just credibility. If you're doing some institutional sort of advertising and all of your sales are generated other ways and your website is literally just a fallback to give people credibility about who you are, go for it. Go with the corporate website, put bios of the executives, put that kind of stuff on there, testimonials from your customers, and that will go a long way to reinforce buying behavior and to push interested people over the edge when your sales reps are calling them or whatever else. But if you have a salon and you need people to book appointments, you want front and center on that website, right above the fold on the top page, call now to book an appointment, fill out this form to book an appointment. You want your call to action, whatever that is, to be very clear. You want it to be on the very first page, and you want it to be even at the very top before they scroll down. Now you can repeat it a number of times, but every action you want them to take, you want them to see from the second that they see your website. And then you can add all of that other stuff after. Call for an appointment. Click here to, join our free webinar. Whatever the case may be, all of that stuff should be directly put right there at the top of your website. Now, you could create multiple websites if you have multiple things that you want to do. You can create multiple products, but the idea is to have that singular focus, be very clear with your call to action. So you want to make sure you put that call to action there and make it easy. The idea is to make it easy for your customer or your prospect to do whatever it is you want them to do. If they're booking appointments, why just have a phone number? Give them a phone number and give them an automated form they can fill out. Give them a button for call us. When you click it, it sends the phone number to you and you call them. Make it as easy as possible by integrating as many of these things as you can. Now, it might sound like, oh, well, this would be this really technical, difficult thing to do. It's not. There are tools for all of these things. You can use even my surveymonster.com survey and form product will allow you for free to create forms and surveys for your customers and embed them right on your website. There are tons of other tools as well, and you can automate a lot of these things. But the point is, you want your purpose in mind for what you want out of your website. If you want to generate sales, you want to know that. You need to have a way for them to check out. If you want to generate leads, you need to have a lead capture form on there, a chat box on there, every other thing that you can think of, so every person that's interested takes the action you want them to take. Because here's what happens with traffic to your website. If you're a visitor and a browser on a website, and undoubtedly you've done this yourself, you've clicked on a website, you see some stuff, you're interested, but there just isn't quite enough information or your specific question isn't answered. Now, if you need to proactively find the Contact Us button, click it, enter all of your information, hope that they're going to respond. Most of the time you just click away and you leave, right? You don't bother with all that stuff. If instead you're browsing on the site and then the chat box pops up, hi, my name is Joseph, how can I help you today? Well, now if you have a question, you might type that in, so it's better. Anything that makes the customer experience better, because people are not going to take the effort. When you're the owner of the site, you think, oh, this is so easy to navigate, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? They're easily going to want to do this, and it's not a hard time to reach us. The prospect doesn't know that. The prospect knows, I got 1,000 search results when I looked for this, and these other 5 competitors all have the information I'm looking for on my website. This one doesn't. And so why am I going to bother reaching out and contacting them? They might be the best, but I'll never know it because I'm not going to bother. So you need to make your visitor experience as clear as possible and as easy as possible. Have in your mind what you want that prospect to do when they get to that page. Save your ego, check your ego at the door. They don't really care about your bio, okay? Unless you're doing something that's a personal, like coaching thing, and then even still, it's questionable whether you put that on the front page. It just depends on what structure you're going for. But call to action on the front page, you could put all the other pages on there if you want. My recommendation is if you have a strong call to action on the main page and people are not going to need a lot of additional information, I recommend you don't even put a big menu at the top. I'd put the menu at the bottom instead. Because when you have menu links at the top, you get people clicking around, they're being distracted. You know, the other mistake I see a lot is they make their website too busy. There are too many things. You got affiliate banners, and then you've got, you know, buy this product and check out this thing, and we got this webinar coming up, and then this seminar, and here, it's too much, it's too busy. People click away. Few options, very clear, direct action about what you want them to do. Keep it simple. If it's focused and simple, you'll get much better results. And all of those other things can be added to other pages or whatever else, but do not muddy your initial message. Make sure you give them value, you give them a reason to want to do the action that you want them to do, and give them a very clear process for how to do that action. That is how you build a responsive website that will actually absolutely knock it out of the park for you, even if it isn't the sexiest one online. A lot of my sites aren't beautiful, some of them are, but I can tell you they flat out get results because they're geared around selling one particular product, and that whole front page is a sales page. The only button on it is the buy button to check out at the cart, and that's it. As always, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, share them with me at levrigeshow.com. I would love to be able to answer those for you in an upcoming episode. You can also tweet at #LeverageShow. And until next time, make it happen.